You're welcome to the sports segment here on AM Show. I'm Benedict Owusu. Always a pleasure joining you on this platform. We'll go straight into the stories, and the Black Stars officially started preparations ahead of this year's AFCON with a friendly to Mauritania at the Accra Stadium yesterday. Now, Coach Kwesi Appiah's side defeated their opponents 3-1 in a game which saw almost all players getting an opportunity to justify why they should be included in the squad for the tournament. Well, Coach Kwesi Appiah, whose target is to win the AFCON, knows the team he will name for the Continental Showpiece.
As I said earlier, I know my team. I know the team that I've taken up from. The only thing is, maybe there may be injuries along the line, there may be sicknesses, and then some of them, their form may drip. So it's important to take note of all these things. But as to a team, I believe that our best players have been so far been called up to the national team. I don't think we have any Messi around somewhere. You know, what we have is what we have, and then we just have to give them the encouragement and then the support that they need, you know, to go to that. And see, that's why I've always had the belief that inviting a lot of players helps, because it gives you opportunity, you know, for the nation actually to depend on 3 or 4 competent players. So you don't have to rely on any player. You know, if you rely on one player and he gets injured, automatically you face problems. So a player might not play well today, but you ask yourself, do you have another competent person, you know, in case of emergency to call him up? So I've always had a belief that creating competition in the team, having at least 3 or 4 players competing at each position, helps a nation. Because it's a nation, it's not a club. Once you have that in place, then automatically, if a player is not doing well, you can always rely on the others. And as I said, I know the players that I have actually at least got a set of players at each position, making sure they are all competing to a level that those that I will invited today, if all of them should even be out of the national team, I'm 100% sure we can get even 24 players coming in, you know, to represent the nation.
All right, so that was Black Stars coach Kwesi Appiah. Now, deputy skipper Andrea Yu was an unused substitute in a game which saw Kwesi Appiah open scoring before Caleb Ekuban and Thomas Partey scored the other goals in the second half. Ayu insists they have to prepare very well to be able to do something at the tournament, which kicks off in 3 months' time.
I think it makes it even more difficult, because then when it was 16, we had in the tournament you go to a point where you have about 5-6 days of rest. But now when you look at it and you calculate the days that the tournament is going to be played, if you are going further, you'll be playing every 3 days you'll be playing. So you need to be very fit and you know, have good rest and good training. It's going to be very hectic, very, very demanding, because when we finish the group stages and before we move to the quarterfinals, we always had a period of few days where you could rest and get back. But now I don't think that no team will have that. That was to be difficult for us, but it will also be difficult for the opponent. So I think it's a new philosophy coming in from CAF, and we need to adapt to it and be ready, because we won't have any excuse.
So that was Black Stars deputy skipper Andrea Yu speaking on the extended Africa Cup of Nations. So now expanded actually Africa Cup of Nations. No more 16-team tournament. It's going to be 24 starting in June, and for the very first time the tournament will be played in the month of June and July. Well, away from the Black Stars yesterday, the Black Meteors were also in action. They played in the African Under-23 qualifiers. They went away and drew goalless with Gabon, and by virtue of what happened in the first leg, which Ghana won by 4-0, we are through to the next stage of the qualifiers. That will be the third and final round of the African Under-23 qualifiers. Ghana through to the next stage, so we'll play against Algeria, and those 2 matches will be played in June. The first leg will be here in Ghana, with the return leg away in Algiers in June. Remember, that tournament will also be hosted in Egypt, but that's later this year. Well, away from that as well, you know, the Black Stars played an international friendly yesterday. Other African teams that have qualified for this year's Africa Cup of Nations were involved in friendly matches, and Nigeria made history yesterday in the history of their team, and as well as in the history of an African international friendly game. Nigeria scored the fastest goal in 9 seconds. They scored in 9 seconds, and that was the only goal in their game against Egypt. And we also will show you highlights of how Gabriel Jesus played very well as he scored for Brazil to beat Czech Republic. Nigeria also defeated Egypt by a goal to nil. Other friendly matches that I played yesterday, Argentina beat Morocco by a goal to nil without Lionel Messi. He has returned to Barcelona, fears of a groin injury. Well, that's how we end sports this morning. Make sure you join us at 2 on Sports Today. There will be more in terms of the highlight results. Also, the 2019 Miami Masters is on. We'll bring you highlights of what's going on there as well. My name is Benedict Osu. Thanks so much for your company.